mission today is making sure that you are getting assets to pay your bills, right? So we want to build up assets to pay our bills. We don't want to ever come out of our pocket anymore for bill paying. We always want to have something that's making us money consistently that's paying our bills, right? So when it comes to having abundance and freedom, everything that you get from working side gigs or that job, whatever, is coming to you and you can do whatever you want with it, right? Because you got assets that's paying your bills. The first step to financial freedom is making sure that you have something that can take over all your expenses, right? So if your expenses every month is about $3,000, $2,000, $1,000, maybe five, maybe six, what can you do in order to make sure that those bills are covered without coming out of your pocket every single month? You know what I'm saying? So your pocket money can be your pocket money. You know what I'm saying? So when I was learning stocks in the stock market, the people I was learning from, they told me that you should go look at all the companies that you already use, you trust, you know about, and you should go buy stocks in those, buy shares in those companies, right? So, for an example, at the time, my phone bill was with AT&T, right? So they was like, you should go to AT&T and buy as many shares it takes to make sure that the dividends, when it pays out, it can cover your phone bill every single month, right? And that was just the first round of thinking that got me like, whoa, like this is possible. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing because I use fucking AT&T for my phone bill. I use these people when I go to do sporting events. I go to this mall to shop. I do this, I do that. I got so many companies that I know about and I'm always interested in. I go here to eat. I can start buying these companies. But then I start to think about it as like, okay, if this is my phone bill, well, do the people that I rent from, can they, do they have any kind of IPO that I can buy into? Do they got shares, right? If they don't, find something that can, you know what I'm saying, like take place of them. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was like, everything that I want to do when it comes to clothing and all that type of stuff, oh, it's so many different companies, but I could do it in one big company, SPG, right? They the people that own Linux and all that type of stuff, right? So it's just like, okay, let me make sure that anytime I want to go shopping, let's just say I want to spend $500 a month on like clothes or like whatever, you know what I'm saying? At least I can buy into this company until the dividend is paying that much, you know what I'm saying? And when it came to rent, I was just like, well, my company that I'm renting from ain't necessarily on the stock market, but this one company called Realty Income, Realty Income Group, whatever it's called, Realty Income. It's like ticker sign O, right? I was just like, and they pay out every single month too. Let me buy into this. And every single time that they pay is going towards like affording my rent every single month. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing stuff like that, just making sure that I got assets in place in order to pay my bills. Because as soon as you got that and you got things producing income for you every single month, because the money you already gave down the line, bruh, you are entering a zone where you're building your own financial freedom. So I was on TikTok live last night, and this woman, her name is Leah, right? Shout out Leah. She said you should be buying businesses too. You don't got to buy big crazy businesses and all that stuff right now that's making $100,000, $1 million, $5 million a year, a month, whatever. You can go buy simple businesses right now, right? Like simple businesses that can help you start to gain that financial freedom for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's so simple, it's so small that you can find businesses. Like she found one that brings in about $1,800 a month, e-commerce business. And it was just like, okay, that $1,800 a month can go towards your bills. If your rent is $3,000, now that's something that's going towards your rent. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't even coming out pocket the whole three no more. You coming like damn near half. You know what I'm saying? So you want to do stuff like that. And if she can find another business that can like generate the rest of that income, that's two businesses that you running that you honestly don't even gotta run because you already got a system in place to run it for you. You're just buying and taking control of the business and being mentored by the people that used to run it, if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You making sure that whatever's going on, that you are putting yourself in a position where money is not hard to come by anymore. It's becoming easier and easier and easier. And the more money you get, the more money you can buy. And as you buy more money, you are moving yourself further and further and further and further away from zero. Chris Johnson said the game is to make sure that you are always setting a new bar for yourself. So if you're starting at zero, you ain't going negative and you getting money and you coming up and then you coming right back down to zero because you ain't put no money to the side. You ain't put no money in no assets. You ain't put no money in a savings account. You ain't put no money in Bitcoin, like nothing like that. So every time you get paid, you get $1,000 and then you spend it all and go back to zero. $1,000, spend it all, go back to zero. $1,000 and you might dip and go into the negative because of something. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure when you get that $1,000, you coming back down, but you're coming back down and you're stopping at 600. Another $1,000 coming back down and you're stopping at 8. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, as you keep going up, you are getting further and further and further away from zero, away from ever seeing $0 in your bank account, right? His whole strategy is called get money and buy income. Get money and buy income. And that's what we're talking about as well. When you get your money, make sure you're putting your money to work for you so that you don't ever have to return back to zero. You ain't got to be sitting there talking about you broke or you're going to have to figure your finances out and do this and do that. You already on point with all that stuff, so you ain't got to worry about that stuff no more. Get money and buy income. That's the main thing you want to do in this life if you want to keep just growing and getting to where you want to be in this life for real, for real. And the crazy thing about it is that you had that money about 10 times over already. You got your taxes this year. What you do? You got some bonus at work. What you do? You got some random ass tip from whatever you was doing on the side. What you do? You spent it. You did this. You did that. You did a whole bunch of bullshit instead of focusing on what you're supposed to be doing, building your foundation, making sure your foundation is completely solid as possible. And that's what I'm really about, is making sure your foundation is completely solid. Completely solid. I want y'all to start focusing on get money and buy income. We're going to keep talking about this, man. Down below, I got links to high yield savings accounts. I got links to bank accounts that you can start. I got links to whatever you may need to get you start going towards building your foundation. If you need a brokerage account, Robinhood, whatever the case may be, in the link below. Let's start building your foundation one step at a time, dog. Follow, like, subscribe. Let's get it popping, dog. Peace.